I still vividly remember that fateful day. The day my life took a turn more painful, but ultimately more meaningful than I had ever imagined. My wife Sophia, the woman I had spent 6 years of marriage loving and trusting callously, took everything away. Not money, although the $30,000 in our joint savings was not a small amount, but something much more precious: trust, self-respect, and the illusions of a happy future that we had built together. Sophia and I first met at a small cafe in the city centre. It was a sunny Saturday afternoon. I was sitting reading a book and sipping an espresso, and she was chatting animatedly with a group of friends. Her clear laughter attracted my attention immediately. I'm not someone who is easily attracted, but there was something very special about Sophia, a freshness and radiance that made me unable to take my eyes off her. After that, we had this opportunity to get to know each other through a mutual friend. It turned out that we had a lot in common: a shared love of art, a passion for travel and discovering new things, and a shared dream of a peaceful and happy life together. Our love blossomed naturally and quickly. After only 2 years of dating, I decided to propose to her on a romantic trip to the California coast. I prepared everything very carefully. A romantic dinner under candlelight on the beach, the sound of waves lapping, and a custom-designed platinum ring with a sparkling diamond. When I knelt down and proposed, Sophia couldn't hide her emotion. She hugged me tightly and said, "I do," in a choked voice. It was one of the happiest moments of my life. We held a small but cozy wedding with the witness of family and close friends. Sophia looked truly gorgeous in her pure white wedding dress, and I felt like the luckiest man on earth to hold her hand and step into a new chapter of life. The early years of our marriage passed very peacefully and happily. We built a small nest together, shared the joys and sorrows of life, and cherished plans for a bright future. We weren't rich, but we both had stable jobs and knew how to manage so that life was always comfortable and fulfilling. We dreamed that one day we would have enough money to buy our own house, have beautiful children, and live happily together for the rest of our lives. But then, everything started to change. Sophia became increasingly distant and difficult to understand. She spent more time with friends and personal interests, and less concerned about me and our family. I tried to talk to her to find out what was happening, but she always seemed annoyed and dismissed all my efforts. Then that fateful day came. I still remember every detail of that day. I returned home after a tiring day at work, hoping to see Sophia's smile and have dinner with her. But when I entered the living room, I only saw a hastily written note on the table. "I'm gone. Don't look for me." I was shocked and couldn't believe my eyes. I called Sophia dozens of times, but she didn't answer. I ran to the house of her friends and relatives, but no one knew where she had gone. I was frantic with worry and fear. I couldn't understand why Sophia would leave so suddenly without a word of explanation. It wasn't until that evening that I received a message from Sophia. She wrote, "You're fat, boring, and penniless. He has everything you'll never have." Attached was a photo of her hugging and kissing a strange man. I was thunderstruck. I couldn't believe that the woman I loved and trusted the most could betray me so blatantly and cruelly. I had spent 6 years of marriage loving and caring for her, building a better future for both of us. But in return, I only received contempt and betrayal. Sophia laughed in my face, throwing the platinum wedding ring that I had given her with all my love and respect into the trash, as if it were just a discarded object. I could only stand there dumbfounded, watching her turn her back and leave, taking my whole world with her. The following days passed like a prolonged nightmare. I lived in a state of constant insomnia, the images of betrayal haunting me relentlessly. Sophia's smiling face when she accepted my proposal, the promises of a happy future, and then the way she callously threw everything away for another man. All of that was like knives twisting deep in my heart, causing me pain and despair. But I didn't allow myself to collapse. I knew that I needed to be strong not only for myself, but also for those who loved and trusted me. I got up, forced myself to eat, and tried to find my normal rhythm of life again. I went to the company, worked mechanically, trying to fill the emptiness in my soul with numbers and designs. One Friday afternoon, I received a call from Daniel, my best friend from college. Daniel is a good lawyer and always ready to help me in any situation. I told him everything about Sophia, about her betrayal, about the pain I was suffering. "You can't let her get away with this, Nathan," Daniel said with an indignant voice. "We have to do something. We have to make her pay for what she has done." I wasn't sure about that. A part of me still loved Sophia, still hoped that she would realize her mistake and come back. But my rational side knew that it was just a delusion. Sophia had chosen to leave me, had chosen to betray me, and I could never forgive her. "I don't know what to do anymore, Daniel. I said with a voice full of helplessness. "I feel like a loser. I've lost everything." Daniel was silent for a moment and then said, "You haven't lost everything, Nathan. You still have friends, family, and a future ahead. Don't let her bring you down. Stand up and fight." Daniel's words awakened me. He was right. I couldn't let Sophia destroy my life. I had to stand up and demand justice. I decided to ask Daniel to help me with the divorce procedures and demand the return of the money that Sophia had taken. After that day, Daniel and I began to gather evidence of Sophia's betrayal and deception. We found the messages and emails that she had sent me, the photos and videos recording our happy moments, and the testimonies of our friends and relatives. We also discovered a few quite interesting things. We found a series of messages showing that Sophia had been secretly seeing that man for months before she left. She had lied to me about her gym sessions, about her accidental encounters with him, and about the advice he gave her. We also discovered that Sophia had planned to leave a long time ago. She had secretly transferred money from our joint account into a private account and had inquired about divorce procedures and property division. She had even found a new apartment to prepare for her future life. I felt both angry and hurt when I found out about these things. I couldn't believe that the woman I loved and trusted the most could deceive and betray me so sophisticatedly and cruelly. I had been too naive and blind to believe her lies. But I also felt grateful to Daniel for helping me see Sophia's true colors. If it weren't for him, I might have lived in delusion forever and never known the truth. When we had gathered enough evidence, Daniel filed for divorce and sent a letter demanding that Sophia return the money she had taken. I knew that this battle would not be easy, but I was ready for it. I would not let Sophia continue to trample on my kindness. I would demand justice at all costs. The following days were a prolonged and exhausting battle. Daniel and I worked tirelessly to prepare for the trial. We gathered more evidence, searched for witnesses who could testify about Sophia's wrongdoing, and built a solid legal strategy. I knew that Sophia would not give up easily. She would fight to the end to protect her reputation and property. But I was also determined not to back down. I would do everything I could to demand justice and make her pay for what she had done. During this time I met that man, the one Sophia had left me for. His name was Richard, a personal trainer at a luxury gym in the city. He was an arrogant and conceited man, always boasting about his attractive appearance and impressive achievements. When I confronted Richard, he didn't show any remorse. He even laughed at me and said that I was a loser, not worthy of Sophia. He claimed that Sophia leaving me was inevitable because I was too boring and penniless compared to him. I was very angry when I heard these words. I wanted to punch him in the face to let him know that I was not the person he thought I was. But Daniel stopped me. He said that I shouldn't lower myself to the level of someone like that. I should stay calm and focus on my main goal to demand justice in court. Daniel was right. I shouldn't let anger control my actions. I had to stand firm and believe in justice. On the day the trial took place, I felt an indescribable nervousness. I had prepared for this day for a long time, but I still couldn't be sure of the outcome. I was afraid that Sophia would find a way to turn the situation around, that she would use lies and sophisticated tricks to deceive the court. But I had underestimated Daniel's cunning. He presented the evidence clearly and persuasively, exposing Sophia's lies and hypocrisy. He showed that Sophia was not an innocent victim, but a mastermind who had planned to betray and deceive me long ago. Sophia's lawyer tried to defend her, claiming that she was just a weak and vulnerable woman who had been taken advantage of and deceived by Richard. But the judge did not accept this defense. He said that Sophia was an adult and fully capable of taking responsibility for her actions. After many hours of intense arguments, the judge finally delivered the verdict. He declared Sophia guilty of fraud and ordered her to return all the money she had taken from me. He also ordered her to compensate me for the mental and material losses that I had suffered. I felt a surge of relief and satisfaction in my heart. Finally, justice had been served. Sophia had to pay the price for what she had done, but this victory did not bring me complete joy. I still felt sad and disappointed about what had happened. I couldn't understand why the woman I loved and trusted the most could treat me so cruelly and unfairly. I knew that I would need a lot of time to get over this, but I also knew that I was not alone. I had family, friends, and people who loved and trusted me. They would always be by my side, helping me overcome the difficulties and challenges in life. And most importantly, I had myself. I was a strong and resilient person. I would not let anyone bring me down. I would stand up, move on, and build a better future for myself. After the trial, my life stepped into a new chapter. No more long nights of sleeplessness because of worry and pain. No more tiring days of facing lies and betrayal. I began to find peace in my soul again, and gradually heal the wounds in my heart. I focused on my work, dồn hết tâm huyết vào những dự án thiết kế nội thất mà tôi luôn đam mê. Công việc giúp tôi quên đi những chuyện buồn trong quá khứ và mang lại cho tôi niềm vui và sự tự hào. I also spent more time with friends and family who had always been by my side and supported me during the difficult time. One day, Daniel called me and invited me to dinner. I hadn't seen him since the trial because we were both busy with our own work. When we met again, we hugged each other tightly and reminisced about the old memories. "You did very well, Nathan," Daniel said to me. "I'm very proud of you. You didn't let her bring you down." I smiled. I couldn't have done it alone. "Thank you for always being by my side and helping me demand justice." Daniel patted my shoulder. "We're friends. That's what friends are for." During dinner that day, Daniel told me about his life. He had been married for a few years and had a beautiful daughter. He said that he was very happy with his family, and he hoped that I would also find happiness in the future. I didn't know what to say. I still felt painful and disappointed about my broken marriage. I wasn't sure if I could love and trust another woman again. Daniel seemed to understand my thoughts. He said, "I know you're still suffering, Nathan, but don't let the past haunt you forever. Open your heart and give yourself a chance to be happy." I nodded, but there were still many doubts in my heart. I didn't know if I could forget Sophia and what she had done to me. A few months later, I met a new woman. Her name was Emily, a talented and beautiful fashion designer. We met at an art exhibition and quickly felt a connection with each other. Emily is a kind, sincere, and good listener. She didn't judge me about my past, but always encouraged and supported me in everything. Being with Emily, I felt like I could be myself without having to hide the wounds and pain in my heart. I gradually opened my heart to Emily and told her about my broken marriage. Emily listened to me patiently and sympathetically without interrupting or showing any discomfort. When I finished, she hugged me and said, "I'm so sorry that you had to go through this, Nathan, but I believe that you are a good person and you deserve to be happy." Her words made me feel warm. I knew that I had met someone special, someone who could understand and love me sincerely. Emily and I started dating, and our feelings grew deeper. I felt like I was gradually forgetting the past and beginning to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I knew that I was ready to love again. As time passed, Emily and I became closer. We explored new things together, shared our dreams and ambitions, and built a sincere and lasting love. I realized that Emily was not only a beautiful and talented woman, but also a person with a beautiful soul and a kind heart. She always cared about the people around her, was willing to help those in need, and had a positive outlook on life. Being with Emily, I felt like I was living a full and meaningful life. I was no longer haunted by the sad things in the past, but only focused on the present and the future. I knew that I had found the woman I wanted to spend the rest of my life loving and caring for. One day, I decided to propose to Emily. I prepared everything very carefully, just like the time I proposed to Sophia before. But this time, my feelings were completely different. I no longer felt anxious or afraid, but only had confidence and happiness. I took Emily to a romantic restaurant by the sea where we had our first date. After dinner, I knelt down and proposed. Emily couldn't hide her emotion. She hugged me tightly and said, "I do," in a choked voice. I knew that I had made the right decision. Emily was the woman I wanted to spend the rest of my life loving and caring for. She was the one who brought me happiness and niềm tin vào cuộc sống. We held a cozy wedding with the witness of family and close friends. Emily looked truly gorgeous in her pure white wedding dress, and I felt like the luckiest man on earth to hold her hand and step into a new chapter of life. After the wedding, we went on a honeymoon to a beautiful island. We had wonderful days together, enjoying the beautiful scenery, savoring delicious food and sharing romantic moments. When we returned from our honeymoon, we began to build our nest. We bought a small but cozy house in the suburbs, where we could live a peaceful and happy life now. Emily and I decorated our house together, creating a comfortable and warm living space. We also made plans for our future, about the beautiful children we wanted to have, about the trips we wanted to take, and about the dreams we wanted to pursue together. I knew that life ahead would not always be smooth and easy, but I believed that with our love and sutintung we could overcome all difficulties and challenges. I believed that I had found true happiness, a happiness that would last forever. And that is the end of my story. A story about betrayal, loss, but ultimately, forgiveness, and finding new happiness. I hope this story will bring you a meaningful message about love, lòng dũng cảm and niềm tin vào cuộc sống. Never give up hope, because after the most difficult times, we can still find true happiness. Thank you for listening. If you like this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support my channel. Nhé, xin chào. and see you again.